Not long after the destruction of Jerusalem, Titus was made emperor of Rome. He set about to complete the Colosseum started by his father Vespasian. The Colosseum was a huge amphitheater having seats for over 100,000 spectators. Tier rose about tier to a height of 160 feet. The nearly circular building was 612 feet long and 515 feet wide. It was open to the sky except when games were going on, and then a great awning was stretched over the top. Inside the circus, combats to death were fought between gladiators. Here also prisoners of war and criminals were thrown to hungry wild beasts. The people flocked these bloody contests and praised the emperor who put on the best show of blood. When Titus finished this great building, he declared the games open, and they continued for 100 days. During this time, 5,000 beasts were killed. Through the next 200 years, this bloody arena saw the deaths of many Christians who were faithful unto death. When Titus died, his brother Domitian became the emperor. Under him, the Christians suffered terribly. Christians were brought before tribunals and accused of crimes such as holding disorderly meetings, murdering their children, being cannibals, and being traitors of the empire. Every famine, every earthquake, and every disease was blamed on these Christians. Death was the sentence on anyone who confessed Christ. Domitian devised many cruel punishments for the Christians. He had them imprisoned, stretched on racks, scourged, stoned, hanged, and thrown to the wild beasts. Some he made to fall from high places, and others were thrown into the horns of wild bulls. Dionysius, an astronomer and honored senator of Athens, gave up his position and his idol worship to follow Christ. In the year 87 AD, he was beheaded. In 97 AD, Timothy, who had been with Paul in Rome and later who preached the gospel in Ephesus, was killed by a mob of idol worshippers. The people were celebrating a feast day to their gods, marching through the streets of Ephesus, wearing masks, carrying wands, and bearing images of their gods. Timothy stopped the procession and preached to them the evils of idolatry. He told them there was only one God, and living God, who should be worshipped. This angered them so much that they beat him to death with their sticks. Nicomedes was a well-known Christian in Rome during the reign of Domitian. He went about trying to help the poor and afflicted, and visited those in prison for their faith. For this he was hated by the Romans. He was publicly seized and publicly scourged to death for his faith in Christ. How important to you is the honor of your peers? Would you be willing to be hated and dishonored because of your faith in Jesus Christ?